there, my name is Megan White, this is S'more, and today I thought I'd take you through a nice balance flow. So we'll have a lot of great balancing moves today, but I'll also give you some little tips and tricks that have helped me to improve my balance over the years. Notice I said improve, not perfect. So balance is different, I feel like, every single day, but there's always room for growth, which is the cool thing about yoga in general, and obviously definitely about balance poses. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to start on a nice seat on my mat, and we'll just spend a few quick minutes sort of warming up the body. We won't spend too long here, but I always like to start with the neck. So I'm just going to roll my neck side to side, down towards my chest, back and forth, letting go of any tension that I've built up throughout the day. And now I'll do the same thing towards the back of my body. I always feel this one a little bit more, perhaps because we crunch over computers and such all day, but it always feels extra good. And then coming right up through center, I'm going to reach my hands all the way up to the sky, bring them down through center one more time, but this time I'm going to go ahead and twist to my right, getting a nice twist through the side. The more I sit up tall, the more I feel this one. I also like to use my left hand against my right knee for a little extra leverage. Come back up through center and then do the same thing opposite side. Sometimes I even pull a little bit. Gets into that back, really, really nice. Then I'll go ahead and let that go. One more nice side stretch for the body. I'm gonna take my left hand, reach it all the way towards the right. Feel free to go as deep with a stretch as you like. You can even pull the hip down a little bit if that feels good. And we'll come up through the opposite side here. I'll show you what I do on days when I feel like I can't go that deep. Just really use this left hand to kind of help support you. And then back up through center. Now we're going to open up our hips from a seated position. So feel free to keep your legs crossed if that's where they were. You can also come into sort of a double pigeon pose for those people who would like a little bit more intensity here. And we're just going to walk our body forward and let the head fall. I feel this all through my hips. Really, really nice stretch. Come up through center. You can definitely do this in butterfly position too if that feels good as well. And then we'll just let the chest open up here too. And then come back through center. And now we'll jump right into abs. So for me, the way I've been able to improve balance over time is the stronger my core is, I feel like the better my balance gets. I know it seems sort of like a funny connection, but I think you'll find it to be true as well. So we're gonna jump through a couple ab exercises today to strengthen and really activate the core. Remind us to turn it on. So I'm gonna come nice and long against the mat, really comfortable, and then I'll engage the core. So pretty much my whole body is gonna stay flat except for my upper back. Feet are activated, and I'm just thinking of trying to touch my toes, if you will. Obviously, I'm not ever gonna really get there in this position for sure, but we'll just crunch like this for about 20. And as you're crunching, think of your navel coming down towards your spine, maybe even pushing the air out as you come up into that crunch. If you'd rather kind of like stay paused in the crunch, that's another way I feel my whole abs turn on as well. So a couple different options. And we'll let that go if you'd like to stretch out. It always kind of feels good in between ab workouts. And the next thing I'm gonna do is have my legs come up long. I love this ab exercise because I also feel a nice stretch in my hamstrings. So legs elevated, toes can be pointed or flexed, whatever feels best. And we'll just think of our hands once again coming towards our toes. So same sort of idea here. Maybe you get a little bit closer to the toes in this position, but also activating through that core. Think of you'll hear this a lot, navel to spine, navel to spine. What does that mean? Well, I'm just literally thinking of my belly button coming down towards the floor. And with that thought, usually the muscles follow the thought. So let it go. Just a nice visualization sometimes helps. And last thing we're gonna do is yoga bicycles. What's the difference between bicycle and yoga bicycle? Absolutely nothing. So if you know bicycles, you know yoga bicycles. So we'll just stay here. Legs can stay like this and you can ever so slightly move them back and forth, or the longer the legs get, the more the core is activated. Nice cradle for the head too. Sometimes with a lot of ab work, my neck will really strain, so I always love these supported crunches. And then I can't think about the pain in my neck and I just think about the abs really activating, which is good, right? And we'll just do a handful more here. And then let that go, come long. I'm gonna roll forwards and backwards, just massaging the spine. And then I'm gonna come right over into plank pose, sort of the ultimate ab workout, and shoulders, right? So we'll just come into a nice activated plank. I'm gonna have my legs a little far apart, and then I'm gonna alternate hands, just coming up to my shoulders. We'll only be here for a few, but here think about engaging the abs in a whole different way for stability. After you've gotten to about 10, you can let that go. Push back into down dog. Maybe even walk out your dog a little bit. And then we walk our hands up to our feet. Roll all the way up. So before we get into the flow, I thought I'd take you through a really great balance pose called tree and talk to you about the different ways you could do tree and also how to really activate. So tree, a lot of us think of it with the foot into the quad, engaging through the core, coming up tall. And the more I press my foot into my quad, the better my balance gets. That's tree. You can also do tree here with just a kickstand. So start to play with the balance there. If balance poses don't feel very approachable for you right now, you can also do tree right here, right? And then extend the arms, however you want to play. The only thing with tree, avoid the knee, because that can cause some injuries. So just something to keep in mind. We'll add tree into this flow and really engaging through the core. So let's go ahead and start in that tree position. You can face the front of the mat. I'll just face you for reference. And we'll try it on either side. So first I'm gonna come up, I'll show you with my calf. Engage the core. Left leg super strong. And then let that go. Go ahead and try it on the other side. Right leg really engaged. Activate that core like the crunches we did before. And then left leg comes up. And maybe this time you want to play with some hands. The more we move things around, the harder things get. But that's why it's kind of fun, a whole bunch of different things to play with. So then let's go ahead and get into our flow. We'll reach all the way up to the sky. Forward fold. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Reach all the way up to the sky. Mountain pose. We'll add on. Left leg stays exactly where it is. Right leg comes back as we extend high into crescent lunge. Now I'm going to twist towards my left in a nice crescent twist. You can play here, here. If you just want to stay in crescent lunge, that works as well. We'll come right up through, and then we'll turn. This even works on balance as you come into star pose. Again, working on the balance as we turn with the feet, coming up through crescent. Right foot comes up to meet the left. We'll reach up, forward fold, halfway lift, forward fold. Come all the way up, mountain pose. Let's go back to our tree. Left leg stays planted, right leg comes in. Maybe this time you want to play with moving the right leg up a little bit more. Maybe play with the hands. And then we'll come back down. Let's do tree on the opposite side. Everybody might have a side that's a little bit better, so remember the good side, let the bad side go. As we reach up, and then let that go, shake out if you need it. And now we'll just add on with our flow. This time I'm gonna keep my right leg forward, left leg comes back as I reach up into that crescent lunge. This time I'm twisting to the right. Come all the way around into star. Again, for me, that's a balance, that transition. Come back to crescent, reaching nice and high. Step up, reach up, hands to the ground, halfway lift, forward fold, all the way up. Mountain pose, let's flow one more time. So again, finding that nice tree wherever you want to play. Outside of having the hand on the knee, we reach up into the fullest expression of the pose and come back down. We'll try it again, the opposite side. This time my right leg stays planted, my left comes up. I reach up. Find a place in the room that you can really concentrate on. You'll find this helps with balance. So if I look at something stable, it's much easier to stay stable. Reaching up, coming back to the mountain pose, letting that go. Left leg stays planted, right leg comes up. I'm gonna sweep my arms up into crescent lunge, twist to my left, whatever variation works best for you. Come all the way up to star. Sweep back to crescent and back. Left or right leg stays planted, left goes back as I sweep up into crescent, twist, come all the way through to star, back to crescent, stand up, and let's do another half sunny just to round that out. And forward fold, reach all the way up, mountain pose. Now let's add on a little bit more dynamic flow. We're gonna be adding in half moon and warrior three, so I think you'll find some fun challenges in this one. So let's start with reaching up to the sky. Forward fold, halfway lift. Adding on here, hands plant. As we step back, we're gonna lower into chaturanga, come up into upward facing dog, push back into downward facing dog. Lift our right leg up. As we come through, come back to our crescent. We've been here before. This time, hands are gonna sweep back. Kind of a fun pose, but really engage through the hips, engage through the abs. Sweep back up through crescent. Now we're gonna work on that warrior three. My front leg is gonna stay really planted. I'm gonna focus on one place in the room as I ever so gently sweep up. You can complete the pose with hands reaching out. Come back through to crescent. Come into a warrior two. Reverse your warrior. And now we'll come into half moon. So again, activating through this leg, because this leg is gonna come up. Notice my blocks are right here, always handy. But think about engaging through the core as you come down to your half moon. Coming all the way through, opening the chest, and we come back into crescent lunge. Hands come down, right foot goes back to meet the left. So we lower, reach up, push back to down dog. Right leg comes up. So we come through that nice crescent lunge, reach up through the sky, sweep our arms back, reach back up. Now this time I'm really engaging through that left foot. Think of coming up into warrior three. The more you want to bring your torso down, the more complex the pose gets. Hands can come out if you'd like. And then we come back through to crescent. Open to the warrior two, reverse. Ready for half moon. So we really engage that leg that's still on the ground. And come down, extending into half moon. Come back up through crescent. And now I'm going to flow. You can always push back to down dog if you'd like. Come up. Down dog, look up. Hop if you'd like. Halfway lift, forward fold, reach all the way up. Mountain pose. Let's do one last flow so we can kind of integrate a whole bunch of fun stuff. Let's start back with tree where we were originally. So I'm just gonna sweep my hands up to kind of initiate this flow. Halfway lift, forward fold, come all the way up, hands to our side, mountain pose. Find that space in the room that you really wanna focus on that's not gonna move on you. Bring the right leg up, firmly into the left leg. Maybe hands even come up. And we let that go. Same thing, opposite side. Left leg firmly, or right leg firmly into the mat. Left leg up this time. If you're ready, hands can come up through center. We let it go. Hands are gonna reach up, come through in prayer as we stand in mountain pose. My right leg's gonna stay where it is. Left leg comes back as I reach up into crescent. Hands sweep back. Reach back up to crescent. Think about engaging that whole body as we come up into warrior three. Back to crescent. Hands sweep up. Out to two. Reverse, come back through. We ready for half moon without the blocks? Perhaps. Let's see if we can move the blocks and do it. And open up nice and wide. Come back through, reach up, hands plant, plank, up dog, downward facing dog. Left leg up as we come through and then rise into that nice crescent lunge. Hands sweep back. Hands sweep back up. Are we ready for the balance? I think so. Really engaging as we come up. Rising into warrior three. Extending hands if we'd like. Come back through, crescent, open to the two, reverse, come back, coming into half moon, my left leg's engaged as I come up and extend into that pose. Even playing here with no hands. And we come back through, reverse, both hands plant, and we flow back to down dog, looking up at our hands, tiptoe, and roll all the way up. Reaching up and letting go. All right, with all that work, let's totally let it go. So we come all the way down to the mat. We'll just do a couple nice stretches, thanking our body for the balance Always appreciate it when I don't fall, right? So my left legs are gonna come over to the side and I'll open up. And that nice, relaxed twist. And we come back through center, knees to the opposite side. Again, nice twist, letting all that work go. And it does. Balance takes time, and I'll laugh because some days I'll be like, wow, I think I got it. It's humbling because the next day you don't got it. But that's okay. That's what makes it interesting. Rocking side to side. I'm gonna come into happy baby. If you haven't done this pose before, your hand can come on the outside of your feet. If you can't get here, work here. So lots of options. And you can even roll back and forth, but this is a great stretch. Come back into center. Get as long as you possibly can. It's always easy to balance when you're laying flat on your mat. The original balance. Stretch out. If you have the time, take a nice Shavasana. You certainly deserve it. For those who are ready to complete their practice, we'll roll up and come back to a seated position. So I hope that nice quick flow with a focus on balance was helpful for you. Again, the key is to remember engaging the core, setting your gaze at one spot will really help with balance. 100% every time smile, and 100% every time laugh if you fall. I'm kidding, the smile is optional, but I highly recommend that you laugh when you fall because it diffuses the whole situation and you're more likely to get back up and try that balance again. I hope you certainly come and practice with me again. Thank you so much for your time. Have a beautiful day. Namaste.